warfighting forces. And here's just some key metrics that I was provided. 135 approved IGAP vendors. Vendors that we probably wouldn't interact with if we weren't doing, thinking about doing this sort of initiative. Over 60,000 IGAP apps downloaded from NGA's GeoInt App Store. $7.1 million paid to IGAP vendors for app downloads, 99% of which went to small business. Think about that. 99% went to small business. This is just another great example of thinking a little more creatively about how we partner. It's that network to feed a network, and think about how we expand our aperture for who we interact with, how we interact with folks. Now, we're here to celebrate the winners of the IGAP Grand Challenge. And let me tell you a little bit about that challenge. For one thing, it's grand, per the name, right? I got that feedback when I took over directorship of NGA. Somebody wrote in the press, Admiral Sharp was, well, sharp. It got more amazing from there. But the IGAP Grand Challenge is an annual contest in which IGAP-approved app vendors participate in a 3-month hackathon. That's a lot of time spending in a hackathon. I've been in weekend lockdown hackathons. I don't know how much Red Bull you go through in a 3-month hackathon, but I'm sure we have an app that could tell us that. But a 3-month hackathon, building and delivering mobile apps addressing a variety of DoD mission needs. During each Grand Challenge, IGAP removes development guesswork through vendor opportunity packages that contain vital information captured from hundreds of interviews with DoD and IC personnel during DoD tech showcases at military installations throughout the world. The application built during the Grand Challenge are provided to NGA's GeoInt App Store and available for DoD user to download and utilize in the field. Let me go over some of the significance of that. It's putting pointy end users in more direct contact with people who solve problems, right? And you think about that, you think that would be easy for us and necessary, but we don't have a good mechanism for doing that. And sometimes if you can match up people who can build things and solve problems with people that need problem solved, that's really important. It's really important for our nation. And it creates the sort of conversation where somebody in the field is saying, I wish I could and you connect them to somebody that says, I think you could. I'll bet you could. And it creates magic, and it creates important capabilities for our workforce. So it's my pleasure now to introduce SAIC's Lou Messing, Customer Account Manager, National Security Group, for additional comments and for the award announcements. Put your hands together for Lou. Thanks for all you guys.
Thank you so much. Director Sharp, thank you for the great introduction and some really impressive stats on about the program. 60,000 downloads of the applications in the GeoInt App Stores is just amazing. IGAP is an important partnership between NGA and SAIC that enables us to get innovation quickly into the hands of the warfighter. Working together, we short-circuit the traditional federal acquisition process, taking capabilities from concept through deployment in a matter of just weeks and months rather than years. This means more timely solutions for our men and women in uniform, making an operational difference every day. I just wanted to say a special thank you to NGA's IGAP and GeoInt App Store PMOs, Jody Saffel, Dan Weber, and Ben Foster, who make all of this work so seamlessly. As a team, we've now deployed 100 applications to the GAS. This is a huge milestone, and so really, truly thank you for the partnership. Okay, now on to the Grand Challenge. The Grand Challenge recognizes the great innovation coming from IGAP's non-traditional and traditional app vendors and provides an incentive to address specific high-priority mission needs. This is SAIC's 4th year conducting the Grand Challenge with SAIC-sponsored awards now totaling $125,000, including a record $50,000 that we'll be awarding this year. This year, we identified 4 high-priority Grand Challenge topics, 3 derived from warfighter needs, and 1 prototype opportunity derived from an NGA enterprise need. The needs identified were a PDF reader that reads virtually anything, anywhere. This capability allows users in the field to automatically sync files, remotely edit geospatial PDFs with new information, and distribute this information for up-to-date status reports. Second was a talking map that provides audible pronunciations of cities and geographic points of information, geographic points of interest in native language or dialect to facilitate military outreach activities and first impression type briefings. Third was a military recall app with secure peer-to-peer messaging to support mandatory recall exercises in response to emergencies, personnel accountability, and other contingencies required by a unit commander or military leadership. And finally, the prototype opportunity for next generation order management was seeking an enterprise-wide mobile marketplace solution for users and suppliers of GeoInt. This year, we had a record number of submissions. And I just want to make sure that I give an honorable mention to several companies that put together some great applications. Thank you to Aviation Mobile Apps, Lambda, Central Contacts, and TechMaven Geospatial. Thanks for the great contributions. We did select 3 winners this year, 1 runner-up, 1 Grand Challenge winner for the warfighter needs, and 1 Grand Challenge winner for the enterprise needs. All fantastic products, and I'll tell you a little bit more about those. Our first award is $5,000 to the runner-up, Ever Vigilant, CACI, for their Kawato app for military recall. Kawato may mean something to any of you Arnold Schwarzenegger fans out there. Kawato allows team leaders to create a roster of team members and recall them to a location with text and voice instructions. When a team leader initiates a recall, team members receive a notification on their device and respond in the app with current status. Team leads monitor response and location with the app in real time to ensure total recall. So it's CACI here. Thank you. I think we were going to try and do it right down here. And I love the name. Great job. Okay, we now have a $20,000 award to our Grand Challenge winner for mission needs, JED Services. JED Services is a collection of individual developers that our SAIC IGAP team met at Developer Week in San Francisco just this past February. So a very quick turn on this. They do not have any previous experience with federal government or federal government contracting. But for the IGAP program, this technology would not be available to the military users. JED Services' Paul Revere app also addressed the military recall need. Their application allows commanders to import an Excel roster and utilize it during recall events. Once the roster is created or imported, it can be organized into groups, and the user can issue a recall to one or more groups who receive a push notification about the recall. The recipient can acknowledge, message with the commander, and share their location and ETA. So thank you to JED Services, JED Services. I love giving away giant checks. Okay, we now have a $25,000 award to our Grand Challenge winner for enterprise needs. Another small business, Orbit Logic, who created a prototype next-generation order management solution. Order Logic is an application for satellite imagery collection order management. The app provides the capability to browse, view, create, and edit imagery orders, monitor imagery collection and processing status, and estimate collection feasibility for single and multi-use satellites with user-specified collection constraints and configurable satellite parameters. Orbit Logic, are you here? Thank you. So that concludes the Grand Challenge. Thank you to everyone who participated.